Hello, and welcome to The GANRU Show. I'm Golda.
And I'm Wanru.
And this is a podcast that's just like catching up with your two best girlfriends. Welcome back. Part 2.
Part 2 of movies that changed our lives.
You came back.
Thank you.
Woo,
we didn't expect you to.
We didn't know you were going to come back, but thank you so much for doing so.
So glad you hung in there. So if you missed it, you can go back to iTunes or YouTube and catch up on part 1 of movies that changed our lives.
And so we don't lose any more time. Let's go ahead and launch right back into it on part 2 of movies that changed our lives, The GANRU Show.
What is the second most influential movie in your list?
So I'm so glad that you shared that. Thank you for sharing your strategy for being able to cry freely
at home without any hands.
But you know what? You could do that at the theater. Just get a box of Kleenex, just stuff it up, and just get prepared. See?
True.
There's an idea there somewhere, Wanru, for an invention. Don't even think about it.
Trademark.
All right,
How can we make that bigger, badder, bolder?
More badass.
More badass. Okay.
We'll
circle back to that.
We'll marinate in it.
Marinate.
So the next movie that I wanted to share with you, which I think probably won't come as a surprise to Miss Wanru. Speaking of anniversaries and, how long sometimes a movie cycles through.
Are we ready? Let's say it together.
Oh, are you going to say it? You know what it is? I didn't tell. So just so you know, I didn't share with Wanru what my movies were. And she didn't share with me what her movies were going to be. So I'm going to say the title on the count of 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Joy Luck Club.
I'm so predictable. I'm so predictable. How'd you know?
You said it's the 25th anniversary.
Did I say 25th anniversary? I said anniversary, I thought. I guess we'll just rewind the tape and find out.
Maybe I took a little peek at your...
Oops.
Maybe.
No. I didn't write anything down.
No, actually, she's been talking about wanting to watch the screening of this movie, so yes. I had a feeling.
So The Joy Luck Club is a movie based on the novel written by Amy Tan.
That was another book that, oh my God, it just tore me apart emotionally.
Oh, I know.
God, that was killer.
So good.
So good.
Yeah. Anyway, so it's the 25th anniversary of The Joy Luck Club, the movie being released. And I remember when this movie was released, how I was so looking forward to it being shown at the...
Me as well. Mm-hmm.
At the Westwood Fox Theater here in LA, near UCLA, which is where I was at the time. And I was an Asian American Studies minor at UCLA.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, UCLA at the time did not have an Asian American Studies major. They do now, but at the time it was only offered as a specialty.
Wow.
Not even a minor.
And what was your major?
Political science.
Oh, okay.
And I remember that I would take Asian American Studies classes, and one of them was a literature class, and we read The Joy Luck Club, and the movie was coming out soon thereafter, which was really great. So for those of you who don't know who or what The Joy Luck Club, you know what it is, right?
Yeah,
of course you do.
Asian American women. If you don't know about The Joy Luck Club or you haven't read the book, just go get some blue contact lenses. And dye your hair blonde and just go get a fake tan because you might as well be white. Yeah. I'm just going to say it right now.
Just eat avocado toast for breakfast.
I like avocado toast. But yes, right. Eat white bread and Velveeta cheese because your Asian card will be revoked. You need this. It is sustenance for you as an Asian American woman.
It's so, even outside of that, it takes place in San Francisco centered around this group of women who are friends because they meet via their church gatherings, but that's how they first meet. But they meet periodically to play mahjong, which is it's a game of like tiles.
Yeah.
It's kind of like gin rummy.
Exactly.
But using tiles, like almost like dominoes kind of looking, but thicker.
Yes.
And so they meet regularly, and when they meet, they talk about their family stories. So these women are immigrated to the United States from China, and they share their stories. And then in the process of sharing their own stories, they share the stories of their mothers as well. So you get to know each individual's families through the generations, and then how their stories influence their daughters' stories. So, a couple of folks who are the daughters are Tamlyn Tomita.
Yep.
She plays Waverly. Oh, Waverly. She's fierce. Tamlyn, love Tamlyn Tomita, as everybody knows, who we talked about before. And then we also have Ming-na. Ming-na she played the primary daughter character named June. Lauren Tom is in it. Rosalind Chow as well. Just a phenomenal cast. And it also points to the relationship between generations, and also points to the relationship with someone who was brought up in another country, and then bringing up someone who was brought up in America, but still trying to adhere to some of the culture from their mother's land.
Yeah.
Right?
I think from my memory, it's been a while since I've watched it. They actually even go into, so there's the daughter's generation, the mother's generation, but they go into some stories regarding the grandmother's generations a little bit.
Fascinating.
Right? Again, very fascinating to see how they cope with the challenges at each time period.
Yes.
Period of time, yeah.
And how every generation makes sacrifices for the next generation.
So is that what you took away from it? I was going to say, what was your takeaway when you watched this movie?
I think it's easy to for example, I wasn't born here, but I came to America when I was about 2 years old. So my life that I've known it for the most part has been an American life. That being said, I had a lot of influence from the Philippines, from my parents, going back to the Philippines every year since coming to America. And I think what it highlighted for me was when I looked at my parents or my aunts or my uncles, you take for granted that they had a life before coming here.
Yeah. Yeah.
And in many ways, those lives were really, really different than your own experiences here. Right?
So true, yeah.
And I think that it lent an appreciation to those experiences, from our forefathers and foremothers and ancestors, that what sacrifices did they have to go through in order for you to be where you are now, And I think that really informs you, right?
Yes.
Like there's this one lady, Rosalind Chow's character. Her grandmother was the second wife of a very rich man. But prior to her being the second wife or the third wife even, and in those days they had simultaneous wives. This is like in the 1800s China, right? Or the 1800s China.
And they lived on one big compound.
Yeah, they lived in one big compound. And Rosalind Chow's storyline, her ancestor, her grandmother, was widowed. And she was the first wife when she was widowed, right? Then once she was widowed, she married this other guy and she became his third wife. And there are rankings in if you're first wife, second wife, third wife, right? And so again, spoiler alert, this movie's been around for 25 years. So stop listening if you don't want to hear what's happening next. But long story short, this third wife lady, she knows that her ranking in the family is never going to ever measure up, ever. And that her daughter's life might be affected and her spirit might be affected because she's been pushed down the rank and file. Right?
She will not have the benefits of being the child of the first wife.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. And so what she does is she basically eats an opium cookie or opium.
I don't remember this.
Something in order to give strength to her daughter so that her daughter will be elevated. Because there is some superstition about if a wife dies on the compound and if someone's left behind, you have to treat that person with a lot of...
Oh, there was a rule or something.
Yeah,
right?
you have to you can't take that person for granted. You owe it. You almost have to
be
try
extra
harder.
Nice to that person.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So she did that in order for her daughter to have a better life, even if it meant sacrificing her own life. And so that daughter that grew up in that compound now is elevated in many respects to a higher level than even the first wife's kids.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Right? And what she was hoping to do was that she gave that woman strength, right? And so when that little girl then became a mother of Rosalind Chow.
Oh, wow. Now that's circling back to current times, modern times.
So it's so great because she tells her daughter this story. And Rosalind Chow is now living in America. She's married to Andrew McCarthy.
Oh, man. That was an amazing cameo, by the way.
Yeah.
I remember that. Yeah.
From Pretty in Pink.
Yes.
Andrew McCarthy. And he's taken her for granted. And Rosalind Chow's character is just like the good wife and like making sure the party has all the food. And she's wiping up the floor. And she's sort of like third class, fourth class citizen. And she's unhappy, but she's kind of taking it. And she leaves Andrew McCarthy, right? And then she's sitting in the rain.
Okay, yeah.
She's sitting in the rain.
Yeah.
And then Andrew McCarthy's like, honey, it's time to go. Honey, let's go. And she's like, my grandmother ate an opium cookie to give my mother strength so she can give that strength to me. I am the granddaughter of someone who was the first wife. I want a divorce. Anyway, so thank you.
Oh my God, bravo.
I mean,
bravo.
Come on.
This is better than the movie. Her reenactments are better than the
Thank you
movie.
so much. I saw this movie 25 years ago. I still remember that scene.
I mean, all I remember, from that particular scene, that's a very memorable moment. I remember that. I'm the grandmother. My grandmother ate something. I remember that. But also I remember Andrew McCarthy. He's got one of those faces you just can't get mad at. And I was like, I know why Rosalind Chow put up with his crap, because he's so cute. He was my childhood crush, in case you couldn't tell. He was really cute, and she was like berating him, and his eyes. Andrew McCarthy knows how to do this thing where his eyes.
He looks cross-eyed.
Huh?
Isn't he cross-eyed?
Does he?
I like James Spader. Between him.
Oh
yeah.
Oh, this is right here. The line. We're drawing
drawn.
the line. Team Spader and Team McCarthy. Oh,
Let me tell you something about James Spader.
This
Tell you
tells you
something about James Spader.
I know everything I need to know about you now, girl. You're Team Spader. I know everything about
James
you.
Spader.
Okay, all right, fine. Go ahead. What do you like?
Andrew McCarthy was a big wussy.
I know, but he could do this thing where he looked in the camera, but he wouldn't cry, like the tear wouldn't actually come out, so he wasn't a wussy. It would just fill up his eyes, and they would just like linger there. Wow.
That's called bad acting.
It's called sensitivity.
James Spader would cry
The sensitivity.
without even holding back. He would be all just non-apologetically cry.
When does he ever cry? He's always playing a douchebag.
No, you only see him in like that show that he's on NBC right now, which he has cried.
All right, so why do you like James Spader? Are we going off on
Anyway.
a tangent? Give me I need to understand before we move on why you like James Spader.
James Spader can pull from the deep recesses of his body a character that you cannot even imagine.
Okay, all right.
There it is.
There you go.
Okay.
Okay, that's fine.
So
I'll buy it.
going back to this, the other thing that I loved about this movie was the relationship between Ming-na, who played June, and Waverly, played by Tamlyn Tomita, because Tamlyn Tomita's character Waverly was sort of the overachiever, Ivy League, very successful woman, not afraid to grab what she wants. She's
grab the crab. Oh my God, we're kind of
grab the
best crab. We're circling back to the crab.
This was not planned.
Totally not proud. I didn't even know what her movie was going to
But
be.
that scene, there's a scene that they're at the dinner table, Waverly and Ming-na's character June with their parents and some other random people. And they have crab for dinner. And there are some really big crabs, right?
Yeah.
There are big crabs on the plate. And then there's
little crabs.
smaller crabs. right?
Crappy crabs.
So when the plate comes in, Waverly grabs the plate first, and she grabs the biggest crab.
She's like, I know which crab I want. I want that one right
She's
there.
not
that
afraid.
One.
And she takes it and she puts it on her plate. And then June, played by Ming-na, takes the small crab because her character is a little bit more kind of passive, kind of like not as confident, you know?
Yeah, she picks the crab that only has one pincher.
Yeah, or like broken
pincher, yeah.
Yeah. And so then that scene with Ming-na and her mom in the kitchen, and Ming-na is like, Mom, you always take Waverly's side. You always take Waverly's side. And she's like, what do you mean? No, I see you. No, Mom, you don't. You don't. You don't see me. Nothing I do is ever good enough.
She just stuffed tissues up her nose. That would help with the crying.
Yeah. Oh, no.
Okay, go on.
June. Waverly, she take big crab because she only think of herself. June. Waverly, take big crab first. But you never take big crab. You only take small crab. And you only take crab after everyone take their crab.
I don't think this is accurate, but go on. You've got the essence. Go, keep going.
June. Waverly take big crab. You take small crab. Waverly take big crab because that's who Waverly is. You take big crab because you have small crab because you have great big heart.
No. Okay, your
big heart.
Your Sound of Music reenactment was
I
spot on,
see you.
but I call you out on this one. This is horrible.
No, this is it.
No, this is it.
This is the movie, right?
No, I'm gonna do it. Okay,
let's see it.
June, you take low quality crab because you have the best quality heart. That's also not. That's also. Let's keep going until we get it. Go ahead. June, you take.
Your quality is high, like quality crab high. Waverly is low crab. Not
June,
like you, June.
You take the rotten crab because you don't have a rotten attitude like Waverly. You are fresh heart, fresh mind, like fresh crab.
June, you like the crab that you crack open and there's all the fats in there that you suck up. That's the good part. That's you, June.
June, did you know that if you eat the crab meat in a certain way?
June, you eat the crab leg first. That's where all the good meats are, June.
And then you take the crab pincher and you can move it inside. There's a piece of the bone. You move it, you can open and close. It's fun. It's a lot of fun. I'm turning into Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Again, the Austrian theme.
Austrian.
But anyway,
Anyways.
I think we've given a lot of good inside scoop into the show, into the movie.
So let me sum it
Yes.
up. Why was it so influential? Is it because
Well,
it's Asian Americans being represented on screen, or is it the sacrifice of the generations? What was it?
yeah, I think on the first surface level, it's because you get to see people who resemble you, and that was important to me. And I realized at the time in my youth that I've not seen this before.
Yeah,
and
it's very groundbreaking.
Yeah, it made me do
Yeah.
right? On top of everything else, it was a fantastic story.
Yes.
On top of everything else, it was fantastically performed
Yes.
by the actors. It was shot extremely well. It was directed very well. The music was beautiful. Russell Wong was in it. Remember
only
Russell
thing
Wong?
I think
he
it
was
was
a bad guy though.
But you look good.
He looked good. He looked good.
I think the only thing it was missing for Golda was James Spader. I think that's the only thing that could have made it possibly
They
better.
cast Andrew McCarthy incorrectly. Should have been James Spader.
All right, fantastic
Yeah.
selection.
So that's mine. But yes, I would have to say that Joy Luck Club was really great 25 years ago. And now we have Crazy Rich Asians, which I'm very excited about.
Cool, cool.
So yes, more representation out there, diversity. Thank you.
What a great choice.
Yes.
All right, so for my second movie that changed my life,
Yes.
I'm going to say When Harry Met Sally.
Oh,
Sorry, I picked two movies made by white people. I'm not really, I'm Jewish. Nora Ephron, who was, she was a national treasure. But anyways,
genius.
she was a genius, comedic
Yeah,
treasure.
she was.
So if you don't know, spoiler alert, it's a relationship about a man and a woman who meet in college, who maintain a very long, like decades-long relationship.
Yeah.
And who end up falling in love.
Yeah. Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert.
What did you like about this movie? Why did you pick this movie?
Number one, I can watch it over and over again. So again, that's one of those criteria for those most influential movies. Number two, I think Golda said something really wise the other day.
Oh, tell me.
Because we were talking about rom-coms.
Yes.
And you said, actually, the rom-com only like starts off a relationship.
Yeah.
It's the beginning of a relationship, any rom-com, right?
It's the first bite of the apple.
Correct, yeah.
Right.
And so it's almost like they take that first really good bite and they throw it away.
Yes.
Because it's supposed to be frivolous and fun, right? You don't really want to like be eating the apple and then you get tired of the apple and then you eat the pit and you're like, oh God, now there's a seed there. You know, you don't want to get to that ugly part and then the core turns brown. You just want to take one delicious bite and go, the apple was good, and you want to throw it away.
Sure.
Okay. But I would actually say When Harry Met Sally changes this around a little bit. It almost reverses it. They are falling in love for the entire movie. They just don't know it. The fact that they have fallen in love at the end and admitted to each other, it's just almost like an afterthought. You know? So what they show is they actually, because you know that after when Harry and Sally realize they love each other, I feel like their relationship would be very similar to how their relationship was during the whole movie.
Leading up to it.
Yes, because they were best friends or good friends
Got it.
leading up to it. So it's not like this thing where you have two extremely incompatible people and then they somehow fall in love and you're like, how are those two going to make a life together? You know, one's a rich person, one's a poor person. You see two people who actually develop a deep friendship and love for each other for most of the movie, and it's a foregone conclusion. You go, you know they're going to get together. So I love that the meat of it is just them relating to each other as friends. And another reason why I love it is that there's so many themes in that movie that are still relatable to women today.
Like what?
So this is a story about a straight man and a straight woman. And I think a lot of those themes about dating and interpersonal relationships still relate to...
Such as what?
For example, Sally's best friend, Marie, was dating an emotionally unavailable guy. There was a guy that she kept sleeping with.
And he was married.
He was married.
Right.
And he's like, I'm going to leave her. And she couldn't give up on him.
Okay.
That situation exists all the time. I still see it among my girlfriends. Not that they're...
Like who?
I don't want to name names. I don't need to name names. But they're hung up on guys that are literally emotionally unavailable or not ever going to give them what they want. Falling for someone who you don't think you're attracted to. That's Harry and Sally, right? Like Sally's like, I'm not attracted to this guy.
Yeah.
You know, I'm a waspy girl and he's this Jewish guy and it's not going to work.
Yeah.
But they end up being extremely compatible for each other.
Yeah.
That also happened because Harry and Sally tried to set up their best friends.
Right.
And they thought, oh, you know what? My best friend and you, I think you'll get along. And the best friends end up falling for each other, right?
That was funny.
Bruno
Kirby
falls in love with Carrie Fisher.
Yeah, she's
right?
great in that.
They're fantastic in that. And again, that's an unexpected romance that kindled. It wasn't what was expected. It was supposed to be the opposite matchup.
That's I never really thought about it that way. That there is that theme in that movie where sometimes in the unexpected, that's where you find the treasure. I like that.
And Carrie was so fixated on this married man.
Right.
And she didn't want to go on this blind date to
Right.
meet Bruno Kirby.
Right.
By the way, I'm just going to call them by their actor names, you know? It's
Yeah.
but yeah, Carrie Fisher wasn't into Bruno. And then as soon as they met, they hit it off. And then they were the first couple to get married in that movie.
Nice. Yeah,
And
that's true.
I love that too.
Yep.
I love that it's not our main two protagonists that we're following that fall in love. It's the side characters. But they add a meaningful layer to this whole story.
Yeah.
And then the last theme that still holds out today is men and women can't be friends.
Oh, I remember that.
Remember that?
Yeah, I remember that.
Because Harry kept saying, you know, because Sally was like, why can't men and women be friends? And he said, because the sex part always gets in the way. One person will want to have sex with the other person, and it'll ruin the relationship. And then Sally said, well, that's a pity, because you're the first and only person I knew in New York. Because they drove out to New York with each other.
Yeah. Do you believe that, Wanru? That men and women cannot be friends?
I have found this to be true.
Really?
If there is any amount of attraction one way or the other, it won't work.
Even if they're with other people?
It's possible. But I have not found many examples of men and straight women and straight men being close, intimate friends the way Harry and Sally were close and intimate friends. Can you think of any examples?
Controversial.
I'm just going to put it out there.
Yeah, let us know if you agree with that, citizens.
Yeah, I'm not saying men and women can't be platonic friends, but they can't be platonic and intimate friends.
What does that mean, intimate?
You share a lot of your life. You share a lot of your life with each other. Can you think of examples? Are there men in your life that you share a lot of your life with and you're very close to and you speak with?
Not really. Yeah, but they're gay.
Yes, that's what I meant.
So there are caveats.
Like I said,
right?
straight women,
I see,
straight men.
I see.
But case closed. Thank you. Thanks, Golda, for proving my point. Thank
Interesting. Okay.
Exactly. Okay, it's not 100% of the time, but these are just general themes that I go, oh my gosh, this came out when? 1990s? Still relevant today.
Yeah, and I love how they chronicle the relationship or the friendship building from the time they graduate from University of Chicago, I believe, and then they carpool together to New York because they're both going to move to New York, and that's 1 year, and then they meet up again like 5 or 6 years later. They're running into each other at the airport, I believe, and then there's that interaction, and then fast forward another 5 or 6 years. And they meet once again, and then they become friends during that incarnation, if I am not mistaken. What I really loved about the movie, I remember this is when CDs were still really big.
Oh, the soundtrack.
The soundtrack. Harry Connick Jr.
Killer soundtrack, too. I forgot about that. Thanks for reminding me.
I used to play that CD all the time. When I watched this movie, I loved this movie, but I loved the music. And I loved the cinematography. And the other character here being New York.
Yes.
New York City was a character in this.
Yeah.
Right? Without it being so Woody Allen-esque. Right? It was a whole other flavor. It was the Nora Ephron, Rob Reiner flavor. Who was the director, Rob Reiner, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah. It made me want to go to New York in the autumn time, like the fall time frame. Because there's that scene when they were like walking in Central Park and there are orange leaves that come down and they're walking down the pike. And I remember thinking, that's so pretty. I want to go to New York in the fall.
Yeah.
And I did.
I think they were visiting a museum or something like that.
The Met, I think.
And it was just, that's kind of, it shaped me because to me, that's like an aspirational date with someone that I care about.
To go to the museum?
Yeah, that type of day.
In October?
Maybe not specifically.
Coming up.
Meaning you can spend a day with somebody. Because one of Harry's lines is, I love that I can spend the whole day with you. You know, she's the last person that he wants to talk to before he goes to sleep. So that day in the park or in the museum, it's like that is exactly what I aspire to in a relationship. Just being able to enjoy each other's company so much that every day is that memorable and enjoyable.
And that you don't want to hightail it out of there. Yeah, that's probably a bad sign. Like when you're with somebody and you're like, I can't wait to go home. Ooh, I can't wait to do the laundry.
You're going through the grocery list in your head as you're talking. You're like,
yeah, and probably
eggs,
not a good sign.
Laundry detergent, dog food. You're like going through the list of things you have to do.
Jiffy Lube.
And then, by the way, they were talking about nothing. Like their subjects were so stupid.
Yeah.
Pepper. Like, waiter, there's too much pepper in my
pepper
paprika.
gosh.
Like, it was just nonsense
Let's
stuff.
do a scene from When Harry Met Sally.
Okay, which one do you want to do?
It's your movie, whichever one you like.
Oh, gosh. Oh, God, there's so many. Can we do the scene where they're in the, like, electronics store or something? And she starts singing?
Yeah.
That's a really hard scene to remember.
That's kind of hard. How about I didn't know you were this attractive when we were in college. Did we ever?
I don't remember the scene. I should remember. You do the whole scene. You've been doing so good on your own. Do the whole scene because you've been playing all the characters and the other ones.
Did we ever? No. Did you guys want to sit next to each other? I could. You want to sit in my seat? No. Oh yeah, that'd be great. So what have you been up to, Sally? Men and women can't be friends. No, that's not true. That's it.
Perfect.
That's as far as I remember because this is not my movie.
Should I do my? Okay, this is the scene where it's New Year's Eve.
Oh.
And he runs up.
Okay.
So
you'll play Harry?
Harry runs up, okay?
Harry!
Sally, I love you.
No! I know you're lonely. I know it's New Year's Eve. I know you have nobody to kiss, but you don't just come in here and tell me that you love me.
I'm just amazed at how accurate this is. No, it's not because it's New Year's Eve. I love everything about you. I love the fact I can spend the whole day with you in autumn at the park. And that at the end of the day, I can still smell your perfume on my clothes. And I love the little wrinkle that pops up between your eyebrows when you look at me like I'm crazy. And when you want to start the rest of your life, you want it to start now.
You see? It's just like you, Harry. It's just like you to say these things to me when I hate you.
You make me hate you.
You make me hate you. I hate you so much. Kissy. That's really very impressive, Wanru.
That's a perfect reenactment, I think. I mean, you can just literally...
How did we not get cast for this movie?
Clearly.
Well, if they make a remake,
it'll be
why has it got to be gender specific? It don't need to be gender specific.
I would totally want to be Harry. You want to be Sally, right?
I want to be Harry.
Ah. We both want to do the paprika thing.
We're both... It's as if this is going to happen. Okay, we're already fighting for it.
The bigger, bolder, When Harry Met Sally, but go.
More badass.
What were we going to say?
That's it.
Why can't we both be Harry? Remember?
We can. Yeah, we'll put a spin on it, I guess. When Harry met himself. And then we both play Harry.
Exactly. Okay, so
are you?
I had an ulterior motive. Now that we know our two most influential movies, I think there are probably more, but we're just gonna go with this. And I actually had a ulterior motive.
Oh, what is it?
This is actually a secret psychoanalysis technique.
Ooh.
So what you do,
okay,
you actually gather a group of your friends together, and for 10 minutes, you set a timer. They actually will write down all of their favorite movies. So you can do that at home if you want. Just write for 10 minutes. If you write all of your favorite movies, then you set the timer for 3 minutes or something like that. And then you're going to cull it down to your top 5. And then you give you another 30 seconds and you pick your top 3.
Okay.
But you have to do this whole thing where you kind of like spew out all these movies. So you make sure to cover the bases.
Okay.
Then you look for a common theme between the 3 movies. And that pretty much informs what the hell kind of person you are.
Oh.
So I'm going to psychoanalyze you.
Yeah,
and then you
psychoanalyze
me. So your 2 movies again were The Sound of Music and The Joy Luck Club.
Yeah.
So I'm going to put on my psychoanalysis cap now. I'm doing my Sigmund Freud voice.
Da.
Was he Austrian?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Fits our theme. I would say that you're...
Analyze me, doctor.
I would say that you...
That's from Young Frankenstein, by the way. I'm playing Cloris Leachman's character.
Is that your third?
Man, that was tough.
It's tough.
Anyway, go
Eked
ahead.
out.
Go ahead.
Okay, I'm gonna stop doing the accent because it's just annoying. I would say that your theme is communities, groups of maybe family members, families, obligations through generations, but finding your own way.
Ooh.
Because Maria finds her own way.
She sure does.
The Joy Luck Club women, they acknowledge their past, but they
Yeah.
use that to find their own way, to empower
Yeah.
them into the future.
Yeah.
Now, that's the theme of your life, girl.
Wow, that's a good one.
I did that on the spot.
And it was free.
I'm charging
And it
her
only
later.
took an hour.
Don't worry, I'm going to charge her later.
Or 45 minutes.
Okay, so my movies are E.T.
E.T.
and When Harry Met Sally. I already
When
have
Harry Met
psychoanalyzed myself, so if you want to give it a jab, and then of course I'll tell you what the right answer is. Go
Well,
ahead.
I think that with E.T., the theme there was in regards to family as well, right? And a connection.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like you're in search of a connection.
Nice.
A connection, and also that you're looking for a unique connection. It can't just be ho-hum, lazy connection. It's actually going to be a meaningful connection.
Because When Harry Met Sally is about this meaningful connection.
And it needs to be tried and tested. It cannot be easily given. Oh, Quay!
Not bad.
Not bad? Have I hit
Not
it?
bad,
Am I
Freud.
close?
That's pretty good.
What do you think it is?
That's exactly the theme of my life too, which is
Oh.
a deep, meaningful connection with one other person. Good job.
Yes.
And by the way, it doesn't
you.
mean that I don't have other friends besides for Golda. Okay,
You have lots of friends.
I'm sorry, Golda.
That's
But
okay.
I like to relate to people one on one and go deep with those people.
Oh.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I like my meaningful connections. I like to
Yeah.
make close, meaningful connections with individuals. I don't like to have
You're not a friend collector.
yeah.
You don't like to just have friends and then, have them be like kind of, the surface level. You're not
Yes.
surface level friend.
Yeah,
Yeah. I
Exactly.
could testify to that.
exactly. And then maybe, like you said, just going through life's ups and downs together, right? Like when the FBI comes, I will be here with my bicycle. I'll be like,
and
hop
your
on.
hoodie. Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Good one. So what the good people out there can do is they can use this.
Yeah. As a tool
Right?
to psychoanalyze themselves and their friends and their
Wow.
family. What a fun
And their
game, right?
Family. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Now I'm so glad that I didn't say Terminator. That's one of my movies. I was this close.
Oh, really?
I love Terminator #1, the first one.
Oh, okay, so what barely made it?
What barely made
What
it?
barely didn't make it? What was your third choice?
Oh,
Terminator?
man. Young Frankenstein for sure.
Young Frankenstein? Okay.
I love Young Frank. Have you seen it?
No, I haven't.
Oh, yeah. It's genius. Gene Wilder and Cloris Leachman. Black and white.
That was influential?
Man, it's that when you talk about movies that you can watch over and over and over again, I can watch that movie easily over and over and over again. And I have.
This adds another layer to your psychoanalysis, but that'll be for another time.
And Terminator, any like time travel element to a movie always gets me excited. I love time travel.
yeah, I do too, actually. Yeah,
It's Time Bandits. Watch it. It's really good. A lot of time movies are really good. What were some of your periphery?
Up.
Oh,
That's a relationship between two people too, right?
oh.
I know we're like, you can't even say up to people without people going into spasms like
yeah,
this.
but you know what Up does is it gets the sad parts. Spoiler, gets the sad parts over with in the first 10 minutes, and then everything else is fine. So that's good.
Well, that didn't really happen for me because I think I told you I have a problem with crying at the movies. And I was so sad at Up that like 30 minutes in, 45 minutes in,
You're
50
still crying?
minutes, when there are like funny things happening, I kind of remember the beginning of the movie and I would start crying again.
Oh.
I'd be like, oh, it's okay, I'm okay. Like I would have these,
It's a Pixar movie.
yeah, I've had these fits of crying. Anyways, so those were the movies that changed our lives. Hope you enjoyed listening to us talk about them.
And this is the segment we like to call Girl, You Got To. And this is a segment where we give you, the listener and the viewer on YouTube, life tips. Things we have tried ourselves that we want to share with you, and try it at your own discretion. We're not getting paid for this to endorse these things or anything like that. But we're just sharing what has worked for us, and we just want to share these stories with you. So, Wanru, what is your girl you got to?
My girl you got to this week is, girl, you got to get between 7 and 9 hours of sleep every day.
9?
7 to 9.
Why?
Targeting 8 hours. That magic number of 8 hours still holds true after all these years.
Okay. Why 7 to 9 hours?
I'll tell you,
sleep?
Golda. Well, the thing is, I sleep like a bear in winter, so this doesn't really apply to me.
Okay.
But every time I read one of these sleep studies, I go, yeah, I pat myself on the back. I'm like, I knew that. See? This is why I sleep so much. See? That's why I'm a good sleeper, you guys. Okay. Basically, everything they've investigated about how sleep affects you has turned out to be true. So if they have a theory like, let's see if lack of sleep affects this. It does affect that. Oh, does it affect this? Oh, it does too. And it's all in negative ways. It's not like, does lack of sleep help your concentration? Oh, surprise.
Yeah.
It helps your concentration. No, everything that they've investigated in terms of lack of sleep has proven to make it worse. So do you think, I'm going to do a little pop quiz.
Sure.
Do you think lack of sleep could affect how you drive?
Yes.
Yep. 6,000 fatal car crashes a year by drowsy driving.
Yuck.
Drowsy.
That's
okay.
scary.
Out of 25 adults, how many do you think have fallen asleep behind the wheel in the past month? I'm just talking about the past month.
20?
25. How many?
20.
20 have fallen asleep
Oh,
behind.
I'm right?
20? Golda, 20 people have fallen asleep behind the wheel of 25 people driving. That's like 70% of people.
Yeah.
No, it's only 1 in 25. But Golda,
I'm very fatalistic.
jeez. Okay, it's still a lot. 1 in 25 is still a lot. Okay, basically everything. It affects your blood pressure. It helps. Man, God, it gives you heart disease. It can age your brain. It can make you depressed, anxious, forgetful. It can increase your risk for diabetes. It could increase your risk for cancer. It can make you crave junk food.
Oh.
It makes you more susceptible to putting on weight. Everything, sleep deprivation. Oh, it lowers your sex drive. Yeah, basically sleep deprivation affects every single
Because you're too
part
sleepy.
Yeah, because you nudge them and then they're like, right. So
Hug me.
yeah, so we all know this
Get
is a
off me,
problem.
woman. Anyway.
Is this from a movie or this is just from
No, I'm just
in your own mind
just,
creating a
randomly.
scenario? So of course this sounds like fatalistic, like Golda.
Yeah.
So here's some really practical tips to help improve your sleep. Okay.
How do you move towards this direction of getting more sleep?
First of all, real quick question: how many hours a night would you say you sleep?
Easily 8.
Easily 8.
I love to sleep.
Oh, good for you, girl. Good on you.
And I could sleep pretty fast.
Oh, good for you. That's another very good sign. You fall asleep quickly.
I fall asleep quickly. And if I could also add a benefit to getting at least 8 hours of sleep, it helps you look better.
Oh, hell yeah.
The superficial reason is it makes you look better.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Okay.
I mean, have you seen those pictures where people take meth and then they take a picture of them a year later?
No.
It's called the faces of meth.
Oh.
Lack of sleep is like meth, but even more accelerated. It will make you age.
Oh, no kidding.
It's really bad.
It'll make you Asian? Did you say?
Age.
Oh, age. I thought you said it will make you Asian.
It's not going to make you Asian. It's not going to make
Too
you...
late.
Okay. So the things you can do to improve your sleep.
Okay.
Golda's got no problem. She falls asleep on the drop of a hat. That's a very good sign, Golda.
I can even fall asleep in like a train.
Good for you.
Yeah.
These are all very good signs.
Or I'm just really lazy. Anyway.
But all good signs.
Yes.
Okay, because number one, the first thing you're supposed to do is budget how much sleep you need, girl. Like everyone knows how long it takes them to unwind and fall asleep and stuff like that. People just are not budgeting enough time. They just stay up doing useless shit.
Yeah.
Okay, so number one, pick a bedtime. Okay, don't eat or drink excess alcohol right before bed. Put away smart devices for 30 to 60 minutes.
That's
before
important.
bed. Yeah. Actually, some people ban devices in the bedroom, like it has to go in airplane mode.
Yeah.
And they even ban television, computers, laptops. I think that's a good
practice, I think, in general.
Yeah. And try to do something relaxing before bed instead of being on your device, which gets you wired.
What are you doing that's relaxing?
Reading books.
Okay.
People recommend yoga.
But not on your phone.
Correct.
Right? But an actual book.
Yes.
Okay.
Meditation is fantastic. Listening to music.
Okay.
Yoga or light stretching.
Okay.
A lot of people recommend having sex regularly. That'll knock you right out afterwards.
Okay.
Some other beneficial things. Trying to get up at the same time every day helps. I know people want to like sleep in, but getting up at the same time and going outside and being exposed to sunshine during the day also makes you sleepy. Unless you're a sleep genius like Golda, you can sleep anywhere. You don't have any problem, and you sleep more than 8 hours, and you look fantastic, and you look Asian.
Yes, I would like to add too that helps me sleep is it helps to be in a dark room.
Yes.
So if you have a lot of windows in your bedroom, either get curtains, like blackout curtains, not like regular curtains where you can see the light coming through, but blacks it out, or shades, or even I've seen these things on Amazon where you can buy those films. Do you know what I'm talking about? It's like sunglasses, but for your windows.
Oh, it's like something you stick on the window to block out the light.
It's a little ghetto, but whatever makes it dark. Or if you just want to put like a sleep mask on. I think darkness tends to almost trick your mind that it's time to go to bed.
Yes, which is why playing on your devices or looking at excess amounts of blue light at night tricks your mind into staying up.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it. No, those are good things. I am actually reminded of, speaking of the sleep masks, there is a product I want to call Silk. Have you heard of this product called Silk?
No.
It's actually made of silk and it's super light. And it's basically an eye mask that you wear, going to bed. And they also make pillow sheets that are made of silk that apparently when you sleep on it, it's supposed to make you sleepier. And secondly, it helps so that you don't get wrinkles on your face when you wake up. So something to think about.
Okay, great. So
cool. Awesome.
That's my girl you got to. And you're totally on board. What's your girl you got to? My girl you got to is, you got to buy yourself some Bragg's apple cider vinegar. Huh? I did not expect this.
Bragg's apple cider vinegar.
BRAGG''S.
That is
Bragg's?
right.
What?
Girl, you need to get yourself some apple cider vinegar. Not the Heinz kind, or even the ones from Trader Joe's. I think get the Bragg's organic apple cider vinegar.
Am I getting this one? What? Okay, I bought it. Why do I need this?
You can do so many things with an apple cider vinegar, even just a tablespoon of it. So here's something to remember. Don't drink it straight because you will burn a hole through your intestine. Okay. So you can not only internally ingest it, but you could also use it externally. So a couple of uses for Bragg's apple cider vinegar is if you have acid reflux, if you have an upset stomach, even if you want to help alkalize your body, if you tend to have an acidic state all the time, drinking a tablespoon inside of in a glass of water, mixing that around and drinking that will help alkalize your acidity in your stomach. So I've actually done that and it works.
When you have acid reflux, you actually take You take a tablespoon of it, or you put it in water?
I put it in water. I never take it straight. Never take it straight.
Or else you'll burn a hole in your intestines, according to Golda.
Yeah, or if it even makes it that far, it might burn a hole through your throat. Not to be graphic. But.
Did it help?
Yeah. Yeah, it did. And
Oh.
another thing that I've used apple cider vinegar for is, again, dilute it. I took a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar in a glass of water, and then I took a cotton ball and I dunked the cotton ball in the apple cider vinegar, and I used it as a facial toner.
Oh, man.
And it's a light acid
Sure. Yeah. I mean, it's an
with
acid.
the water. Don't do it
Straight
without
up.
it. Don't do it without
Or
it.
else it would burn a hole in your face.
Exactly. And you'll be Two-Face from the comics.
Is that what happened?
No,
Did Two-Face fall into a vat of
apple cider vinegar.
Concentrated braggs?
See?
Is that what happened?
Nobody, little known fact.
No fact. But
So-
he did not have acid reflux when he
He
came
did
out.
not. He did not have
okay.
acid reflux.
Okay, so what happened to your skin?
So it actually kind of lightly peels a little bit of that top layer.
oh my.
Much in for me at least, much in a way that retin A kind of does. Retin A is a little bit stronger, but the apple cider vinegar is almost like lightly kind of it's a light toner. But again, keep in mind that there is acid in it. So for me, one of the highlights was that I have like brown spots on my face.
Like little freckles. They're really cute. They're little freckles.
Thank you. But for a long time, I was very self-conscious about my brown spots or freckles, and I wanted to get rid of it or lighten it at least. And I noticed that when I did use the apple cider vinegar water concoction as a toner, it did lighten it. Again, it's only a temporary kind of effect. I know. Again, this is the younger part of me.
You have many spots on your face, but at least you don't have a spot on your heart.
Waverly.
Waverly.
Waverly. Your skin looks so good. I have a half bottle of apple cider vinegar. Is that your secret, John? I mean, Waverly.
I drank this apple cider vinegar and it burned a hole in my intestine so you could have better life. Don't forget, Max. Grandma, don't forget, Grandma.
Cue lightning and raindrops. I am the daughter of a first-born apple cider vinegar water drinker.
I'm divorcing you, Andrew McCarthy, and that's why I'm divorcing you.
Call me James Spader.
Anyways, I bet you that's just the tip of the iceberg.
That is just the tip
of
the
all the
iceberg.
things you can do with ice.
You can do a lot. You can even like clean your kitchen with apple cider vinegar.
I've done it. I cleaned my dishwasher
Right?
with vinegar. Yeah.
There's so many things. I mean, the goal here is that there are many uses for more natural, less chemical
Yes.
ridden types of liquids, materials out there
Yes.
that you can use on yourself and in your home.
Thank you. That is a great.
Check it
girl
out.
you got to.
Try it.
And that brings us to the end of this podcast, Movies That Changed Our Lives. What a fun episode.
It was fun. It's
God.
going down memory lane for me.
My God, we both strolled down memory lane and revealed things about ourselves that I actually didn't even mean to share. But today, what will be your takeaway? What will stick in your mind?
What will stick in my mind, I think, a revelation about my good friend here, Wanru, is that she is energized by one-on-one connections.
Yes.
Yeah, and that is actually an introvert characteristic.
Well, look at
When
that.
for many years I believed you to be an extrovert, but you're actually an ambivert, which is a combination of an introvert and an extrovert.
Thank you for explaining that. I wasn't quite familiar.
You don't know what an ambivert is?
I had heard it thrown around, but that's
Yeah.
a very concise explanation.
It's about like kind of sliced down the middle, introvert, extrovert, components of both. What about you, Wanru?
So basically, you learn I'm all mixed up.
No, what I learned is that you can balance,
Oh.
but that you are but now we understand a little bit more about what what energizes you.
My qigong is balance. I am a mixture of yin and yang.
I see you, Wanru. Okay,
What I learned.
What did you learn?
What I will be taking away with me
Yes.
this week is when I look at anything and I endeavor to do it, I'm going to ask myself, is this bold enough? I can't remember the other ones, so I'm just gonna stick with that. Is that
Better.
badass?
Yes.
Oh, bigger, better,
Bolder.
bolder, more badass.
Yes.
Badass. And then just to throw on top of that, I'm gonna do stronger, better, faster, harder as well. Does that it kind of goes with it?
Hey, I didn't even think about that.
Bolder,
Chicken and the
better,
egg, huh?
bolder, better, bigger, badass.
Stronger. Stronger. Something like that.
Yeah, perfect. Remix. So yeah, it's like I think as women sometimes we're a little reluctant to be forceful for anybody. It's like, it's just kind of we just go with the standard issue. So why not reevaluate it with a different, more gutsy lens,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Be a little more Waverly and less June. What up?
Okay, Waverly. Hashtag Waverly rocks.
Channel a little bit of that Baroness.
Oh, be careful of the laser pointer in your eye.
Oh, by the way, I want to say,
Yes.
is it okay if I go to my next office meeting and I just bring a laser pointer? If someone's saying something I don't like, I'm just like, "Arr, arr." Actually, that I'm gonna remember the laser pointer. That's pretty bold.
Well, I don't know if I would advocate the laser pointer because that could do some damage to the retina.
Oh, that's
But
very,
I mean,
that's very.
I admire the boldness of the idea.
Okay.
I admire the boldness of the idea. So that does it for us for this episode of the GANRU Show. This episode was movies that have shaped our lives, that have changed us in some way or another. And tune in to the next episode next week. We'll be glad to have you. Also, if you can remember to, if you like us, if you could subscribe to us on iTunes, on YouTube. If you have something to share with us, we'd love to hear any feedback that you have, any ratings that you have, anything really.
Yeah, we just want to hear from you in general.
Yeah,
And
even if it's a word.
Yeah, type us one word.
Yeah, type us one word.
It'll be so enigmatic and mysterious, but we'll be into it.
Yes.
And lastly, if you want to see the full reenactment of The Sound of Music as performed by Golda, where she plays every single member of the Von Trapp family and some nuns, and she also somehow is able to depict the fountain that she was running around. I mean, you will see it.
Yes.
Like when you watch this YouTube video, it will come to life for you.
Please do not hold back.
Yeah, please check out the GANRU on YouTube.
Absolutely. Until next time, I'm Golda.
And I'm Wanru.
And this has been the GANRU Show. See you later. Thank you.